Take a good look. It's got to be in there somewhere, guys. I swear. I'll slow it down. It's got to be in there somewhere. I don't know. What was the card, honey? What was it? What was the card?
Hearts.
I can't hear you.
Hearts.
Boys and girls, come here. Stay with me 1 second. Check it out. Watch this. You ready? It's okay. Look at me. It's not the first time it happened up here. It is not the first time that it happened up here. How we doing, boys and girls? Well, the first time I was on stage was 2 years old, though I really didn't pursue magic like my father did at first because he was so good at it. I thought I could never be as good as he was. It was not until I was in the military that I realized I had a passion and an ability to do this. And before I knew it, I had 60 guys eating out of the palm of my hand. And I really enjoyed it, and all of a sudden some wiseacre made a comment there, and I turned around and shut him down. I suddenly realized I knew every joke my father ever told out of Chicago. More to the point, I knew how he told them. And I got it right then and there. It just sort of went off in my head and clicked that the magic had that much to do with it. It was all about entertaining the audience. And after that, it gripped me like a drug. It was crazy. It was just amazing. Once I graduated and got out of the military, I went to St. Louis and started my first magic bar, and from there it just kept growing. I came down here on vacation, and pretty much that canceled St. Louis. Nothing personal, St. Louis, but Key West just seemed to fit for magic like a glove. This town's a mecca for entertainment, fun, creative people. This is the last bastion of the over-eclectic, in my opinion. But Schooner Wharf Bar, when I got here, was actually introduced to me by Captain Bill Grosscup. Captain Bill owned our magic shop at the time down on Green Street. And when I arrived, I decided I wanted to stay here and ask him where the best local bar was. It turns out Schooner Wharf Bar was the world's local bar. So I came down here and cut a deal with Paul and Evelina Worthington. They liked the idea of it. They had never seen bar magic before. So I said, give me one night to show you what I can do. And if you like it, we'll stay. That was just over 12 years ago last week. I kind of inherited my trade. My father had the original Frank's Magic Bar in Chicago for 21 years. So I can say last week we pretty much passed the halfway point to reaching his record. Basically, God rest his soul, we're going to miss him there. He was the one that started the purveyor of bar magic, but I'm sure he'd be happy if we had a chance to tie, if not break his record right here in paradise at Schooner Wharf Bar. I do get a variety of attitudes at the magic bar, and sobriety is usually not one of them. It does occur from time to time, though, and they think that being sober is going to make them a little bit more sharp, and in actuality, it does make it more fun because it drives them to drink, if you will. But at the same time, reading the audience is a big, important part of it. As people sit down in that semicircle location that is Frank's Magic Bar, I kind of watch to see who's paying attention, who's the one that's drifting off, if anybody has the audacity to get on a cell phone, and not being sharp and rude there, but we just incorporate it in the show and make it fun. Pretty much, you pick out the hecklers from the know-it-alls to the accountants are pretty much the best there because they want to figure everything out there. Very analytical-minded people. But at that point, you kind of pull people in and make them all part of the show. And that's where that factor comes in about being an entertainer that just happens to do card tricks and coin tricks and everything else. The magic part of it, again, this much. Making the people smile is where it's at. And when we get a heckler, it's open season is the best way to put it. They have no idea, but they're walking into an open bear trap. And pretty much, it's one of the fun things I do. That's the part I enjoy being back there. A lot of people are shy of hecklers and run from them. We almost sort of bait and invite it. Because once you have them in, you pull them in so far, give them just enough rope to hang themselves, and then just drop the boom. And it's amazing to watch, because my father called it the art of insulting people without offending people. And you pull people in, pardon the expression, he was the only guy I knew that called somebody a dumb bastard. They loved him for it. But it was all in the way you said it. And it would actually take and turn hecklers around, and that's that charm that I learned, to draw people in even further. When they thought they had the upper hand, once they get duped and have a good time, 99% of the time they turn around and smile and have a ball. If not, I get them on the second trick. People always ask, how much do you rehearse? How much do you practice? Are you constantly learning new tricks? There are a lot of standards that we like to use because even though Schooner Wharf is the world's local bar, we said the world. So we have a rotating crowd a lot. People that come year after year and bring new people. So there are the standards, but there are new material things that we pull in and try out, and some are keepers, some we throw in the garbage can. But to put it mildly, a lot of times, by sheer accident, just because of this unique environment where we get the hecklers and everything we spoke of earlier, they kind of create the show as it goes. And the best lines and the best tricks, a lot of them have been invented by accident right here at Schooner Wharf, just because of the sheer energy and the strong-willed nature of trying to defeat the magician that exists in the crowd that happens down there. Well, there's several tricks that I like and the audience likes. They love the phone number trick, which you'll have to come down and see. We won't elaborate too much on that. But the Red Hot Mama, which was one of my father's staples in Chicago. And speaking of my dad, again, I can't put him in enough high regard there, as do most magicians in America, and I'm very grateful for that. They've really kept his reputation well and alive for what he did in Chicago for bar magic. But if I had to guess and say, Sam the Bellhop is probably my favorite of all time. It's the card trick that put my father on the map. And the entire magic community pretty much gave Dad credit for the trick. If you ever ask him, he said some guy taught it to him for a free drink. Pretty much the long and short of it is, my father started out in California, in San Diego, as a bartender at the El Cortez Hotel. He hitchhiked all the way out there from Pennsylvania. And he'd serve a drink, get 50 cents. The magician would walk in and do a trick and get $2. Dad said, well, this is going to stop. So he put together his own show, starting with one trick, that trick, Sam the Bellhop, that he swore some guy taught him for a free drink. And from there he took it to Chicago, having no idea that he was about to take it and make it one of the most famous card tricks that ever existed. We use coins, other people's coins, anything you get from an audience member makes it so much more authentic. When they get up and say, oh, he's got a trick deck of cards, or you couldn't do that with my deck of cards, go home and get your own deck of cards. And they'll bring them a lot of times. They will bring down their own deck, and when you do it with their deck of cards, it adds so much flavor, it's ridiculous. So bar napkins, matches, anything you can think to incorporate that you would pick up right off a bar can be some of the funniest things in the world. And the most important tool is right here. As the people react and get into it, your response, the rapid-fire humor, the quick wit, and the peppery manner that is born out of and came from Chicago is what it's all about. My father, of course, is my biggest hero for what he did there. Everybody talks about it, how I compare to him. I will always put him on a shelf. I don't think anybody could ever be as good as he was there, although I try my darndest on a nightly basis to live up to that reputation he had in Chicago. They say the only trick that I did better than him was that I knew about Key West. He liked the nightlife and the flashy cars and the people that came in, the tuxes and the big suits. Well, I traded in the bow tie for an Atosha coin, traded in those tux shoes for a pair of sandals, and that loud jacket for one nice Hawaiian shirt there, so it fits in with the background. And the Key West Magician with Chicago Flair is the title I still keep. But it's a lot of fun. I respect both environments there. They can run either way. We'd like to get Barack Obama down here at some point. I know he's thinking about it. We have our Truman Little White House. We'd love to see you make an appearance down in Key West and pull your magic trick, get Cuba opened up for us there. It'll be a whole different world down here for our economy. In the meantime, anybody else that would like to come down, be it celebrity, be it somebody that's been here, if you've never seen this island, this place has a mind, a heartbeat, and a life of its own. When you cross the Kauki Channel Bridge, you have left America and entered the Conch Republic, a sovereign state of mind, the world's first fully functioning fifth world nation, and that's what makes it perfect for artists, for magicians, musicians, any kind of entertainment. This place was designed just to forget about life for a while, and I'm glad, happy, and proud to be a part of it right here live at the Schooner Wharf Bar, nightly at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
I'm gonna send this out to my buddy Frank Everhart. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Grab one fast. Pull one out, take a look at it, grab a card, hop in there, grab a card. Make sure it is that Jack of Spades. I get a little upset if I'm, oh, that's a yes. Poker face. Do me a favor and hold on to it. Give me your hand, put it on there flat. Now we're going to take another card, guys. We'll get the 6 of hearts. Now watch. If I rub that 6 like this, it's damn likely to start to look like that 8 you had a hold of. To be honest, that 6 kind of wanders over here. And by the way, what was that favorite card of yours? That's why we couldn't find it. How we doing, boys and girls? That's how it's done.
Alley's the roughest place I've ever been. The people down there, Lord, living for the whiskey, wine, and the gin, yeah. My buddy Frank Everhart. Thank y'all. Thank you.